All right, hello everybody. We're going to be working on Lesson 12, page 57 of Module 1. Today we're going to be working with word problems and how we are going to attack each problem and how we are going to use strategies to solve for a word problem. Today, the why is a very simple one. The big why. Why are we working on word problems? Well, on the state test, you are going to get word problems that you are going to have to solve. I am going to give you strategies so they become easier to solve on the state test. But also, in everyday life, we are going to get problems that are always in word form or might always be in a sentence. And we have to, as adults, try to solve by using what we learned today and using those strategies to solve word problems in the adult world. So, this is going to help you really solve problems that people are discussing. You might read in a newspaper, you might read in a book or in a magazine, and you'll be able to solve because we've worked on word problems in the past. So, let's work on the first one. Okay. We're going to estimate and solve. So we're going to round and model the problem with a tape diagram. So we're going to model this problem using a tape diagram. Okay. Explain if your answer is reasonable. And this is the biggest one here, this reasonableness. We are going to discuss reasonable and why is it important? Why are we discussing, is our estimate reasonable to our exact answer? Okay, let's go over the word problem. I'm going to work on number 1 with you, and then you are going to solve for B and C, but we'll discuss B and C together so that I can get you on the right track today. There were 3,905 more hits on the school's website in January than February. So January, let's make a tape diagram for January. Oh, actually, let me lower it a bit. Let's make a tape diagram for January. Perfect. And remember, we don't know exactly what January's total is. So it's a question mark. But we know that it was more than February. So there's like a little addition piece here. And it was more by 3,905. Okay. Now, February, though, sorry, let me outline this. So February, so this is in red ink. February, though, had 9,854 hits. So February, there we go. So in February had a total of 9,854 hits. Okay. How many hits did the school website have during both those months? And about how many hits? So that's our question here. But this is A. So this is our real question that we're going to look at here. Okay. About how many hits did the website have during January and February? About how many? So this about, we're not getting an exact estimate. We're not getting an exact answer here. We're getting about. So we can really round here. But what are we going to round to? Are we going to round to the ones, the tens, the hundreds, or the thousands? For me, I would feel more comfortable rounding to the thousands because it'll be much easier for us to solve. So, first off, though, we need to solve for January. See, it's a question mark. So, how can we solve for January? Well, as you can see here, we have February, and we know February's total, 9,854. We know January, though, was a little bit larger. It was larger by 3,905. So, what we can do is we can add February, add the 3,905, and we can get all of January's total. All right? So let's do that. However, they want about. So let's really round 9,854 to the nearest thousands place. How do we do that? Well, I'm going to write it down here. And remember, we're rounding to the nearest thousand. So after 9,000, we have 10,000. And if you look at this 8 here, it really gives us that idea that we can round up to the next 1,000, which we have 9,000. We can round to 10,000, okay, using the vertical number line. 9,000 is our minimum, 10,000 is our maximum, and 9,500 is the midpoint. And we know that 9,854 will go here, so it'll round up to 10,000, okay? Perfect. I hope that made sense. So this is going to round up to 10,000. And 3,905 is going to round to 4,000. And I'll tell you how I got that. If I make a vertical number line again. This is in my thousands place, right? That 3. So this will be my minimum. This will be my, what's the next 1,000? This will be my maximum. And then this will be my midpoint. And where does 3,905 go? It is very, 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 very close to 4,000. So it'll round up to 4,000. Okay? Perfect. So now that we have February's total rounded, we have January's more hits rounded. Now we can finally add those two and get January's total. All right. Cool. So 0, 0, 0, 4, and 1. So it looks like January's total is 14,000. So now I can erase this portion here and here. And the total amount is about 14,000. Okay? And remember, we rounded February's to 10,000. Okay? Cool. So, now they want us to, about how many hits did the website have during January and February? Now we can add 14,000 and 10,000. So, let's do it. Perfect. We have 0, 0, 0, 4, and 2. So we have 24,000 hits during that time. So the website had 24,000 hits during, oh yeah, sorry, about, so I had about 24,000 hits during the months of February and January. Cool. Website had about 24,000 hits during the months of February and January. Excellent. All right, now, we rounded here. Now, what you're going to do next is you're going to find the exact amount. Okay? Exact amount of how many hits were during January and February. So instead of rounding, you are going to find the exact amounts. So January, we don't know the total of, but we know that it was 3,905 more than February. February was exactly 9,854 hits. So what they really want you to do is find the exact amount, okay? So you have to find January's amount, add it to February's amount, and then you'll get your exact amount for January and February's hits. When you get done with that, you are then going to compare the rounded portion, the about, and then the exact portion that you'll find. And then you're going to tell me on the bottom, is your answer reasonable? Meaning, does our estimate, 24,000, does it match our exact answer for B? And you're going to see that it's going to be relatively close. So the why. Why does this matter? Well, we can see that estimates, rounding, can get us very, very close to the exact amount. And estimating and rounding is much quicker. It allows us to get to a answer faster than finding the exact amount, and we can estimate. I use estimation all the time when I'm shopping, especially when I am getting certain amounts of food, and I estimate in my head the amounts, and I'm like, I'm going to probably spend $32. And it's usually like $35. I was close. So estimating really allows us to do mental math and get as close as we can. So that is the why. So that's the reasonableness. So tell me, does your estimate, is it close to the exact amount? All right, everybody. I hope this was a simple lesson. I know it's a bit confusing, but this really helps us understand the importance of rounding and finding our estimates. All right. Thank you so much, and have a great night.